Okay, we are all good. So we're gonna quickly start off. Basically, each of us is gonna have something to say. We're gonna cover a big aspect of social media, how to work your business through each little, I guess you could say like task kind of thing. So Ashley is going to start off, and she will just go over everything first. Yay!
Okay, so if you guys hear like text, it's on my computer. I don't know how to turn it off. And if I mute or turn off the sound, I don't know how that's going to work. So just going to have to bear with it. Okay, so tonight I want you guys to write down 3 things. You can just write Ashley and then underneath write what I talked about. So first thing we're going to talk about is staying organized. After that, we're going to talk about positive mindset and then communication. So yes, Jess, I've been using that planner too. I love it. Okay, so staying organized. I think that is something that kind of like is underrated. I feel like whenever I first started, I had so many lists of like people here and there. I talked to somebody 2 weeks ago and then I didn't remember to follow up with them. And you guys have to remember that the fortune is in the follow up. So I think, what is it, Haley, like 7 to 11 times to follow up with someone or something like that, or for them to see a post, for them to want to buy the product from you or join your business. So if you just joined, I know a lot of us are already like killing it and getting customers and distributors, but if you're not, just remember that there are people who are watching you and there are people who are you're talking to. So it's your job to just make sure that you're following up with them. So you want to make sure that, like, if you're using a notebook right now to write this stuff down, I would suggest writing down anybody's name that you talk to. So anytime you talk to a potential customer, write their name down. So I always write down their full name, where I'm talking to them from. So if I'm talking to them from Instagram or Facebook, and I'll write down the day that I talked to them about buying a product. And then I will also write down what product that they wanted. So then when I follow up with them, I can remember, hey, Haley, I know that you wanted the cleanse. I'm placing a few orders today, and I just wanted to see if you were ready to get your order placed. And you can always reach out to your enroller about that follow-up message that you would be using. But keep it super simple. But every Friday, we follow up with people. So making sure that you have your list of people that you're talking to, you have that organized somewhere so that you don't lose anybody. I can even admit within 3.5 years that I've lost people along the way. So I know that if it happens to me, it's going to happen to you guys. So I'm just going to give you guys that fair warning right now to write down anybody's name. So that's kind of going to be with Facebook and Instagram. And then something really cool that is with Instagram. So if you open up the Instagram app, and I'm going to do my best to like show this to you guys, but I don't know if it's really going to be able to be seen. But write down Instagram collections underneath the organization thing that we're talking about. So if you're in your Instagram, see, I knew this wasn't going to work.
Hey, I can share my screen through my phone if you want.
Okay, yeah. Will you just do that really quick? And I'll just talk while you do it. Okay, so basically it's within Instagram. You know that little like bookmark thing? It's for some people it's like right by their tag pictures, and some people it's sorry.
Hold on.
No, you're good. Not how I'm sorry. I should have thought about this before.
No, you're fine. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you just open up the Instagram app and then you go to your page, you'll see where Haley has that tagged photo. To the right of that, you'll see the bookmarks on there. So what you can do with that is, so Haley has a few other, so for example, she has someone who did a host post for her. She has potential distributors and potential loyal customers. I don't know what GTK, what does that stand for?
Get to know.
Oh, okay. I like that. I've never thought about that before. Maybe if you thought somebody was cuter, you think that they would be good for your team, like getting to know them and building that relationship with them before you start talking to them about the business. And then she also has top leader stories. So mine's a little bit different. So I have potential loyal customers for July and potential loyal customers for distributors. So Haley, if you just want to go to a picture and we can show you how to add it to your collection. So for example, you would just click on somebody's picture after you talk to them.
So like her.
Yeah. Okay. So she's super cute. So we're going to put her under get to know. So to the bottom right of that, you're just going to hold it down. Hold it down, Haley. Okay. Yeah. And then you can save it to get to know, or potential distributor, or potential loyal customer, or if they did a host of posts for you. So put it in a category, and you can also add a category if you wanted to, so that you can keep track of where that person is coming from through your Instagram feed. I think with Instagram, Haley, you're good to stop sharing whenever you're ready. with Instagram, I feel like people's @ names change, sometimes, at least I feel that way, or they get lost. So if you just save them to a collection, you're always going to know what their @ name is and that you talk to them about becoming a customer or a distributor. And then, okay, so next thing I have is I'm going to actually just go to communication next and end it with the positive mindset. And then if anybody has questions, okay, Jordan. Sounds good. Anybody has questions, just put them in the chat box. So communication, I think that this is so huge. So whether that's with communicating with your upline, I think sometimes when we first join, we get so caught up in thinking that we're going to annoy somebody or like we're going to bother our upline with questions. And I want to tell you firsthand, we want you to ask us questions and we want you to blow our phones up. And if we don't reply within 2 hours, just call us, or at least me. Just call me, because sometimes I get too many texts. So if I don't ever respond, it's because you just need to give me a phone call or just like text me 10 times. So communicating with your upline when you need help with something, and then also talking to your downline daily. If you guys are in our downline, you're doing the 14-day training, and that's gotten you your first few customers. So you need to make sure that if you're signing distributors during this promotion, you're talking about, or even after the promotion's over tomorrow, you're talking to them about getting on these kind of Zooms, just like right now, so that they have the right training. And then also making sure that you're giving them that 14-day training thing that we were talking, or that we kind of walked you through, so that they can start getting those first few customers and first few distributors. And then the last thing with communication, so upline communication, downline communication, and the last communication is with your friends and your family. You got to let people know, and I think this is something that was so hard for me at the beginning. I didn't have a conversation with the people in my life and say, hey, you know what? I love you and I would love to go out for drinks tonight, but tonight I think I'm going to stay and I'm going to work my business. And I'm not saying you have to give this 110% of your life, but just think about what it's going to do for you if you put in work for 2 to 3 hours. Communicate with your boyfriend, communicate with your girlfriend and your kids and your husband, and talk to them and let them know that, whenever you get home from work or before you go to work, you're going to wake up a few hours early, and you're going to stay up a few hours late, just so that you have that communication, that they know that you're going to work this business and you're going to take it seriously. And not only so they know, but so that they can support you and understand why you're doing this. So I think that is so, so huge. I think so many people get lost in, I'm not spending enough time with my kids or whatever. And it's like, you don't have to be glued to your phone. Just work this 3 to 4 hours a day, maybe not even that much. I always say if you have 2 to 3 hours a day, you can be successful with it. So just make sure that those hours that you do have, you're using them wisely. And then, okay, last thing is positive mindset. So do you guys think I covered the communication thing okay? Haley? Okay. So positive mindset. I'm going to put my phone down for this. This is something that I wish I would have known when I first started. And it's basically just self-development, learning about yourself. So whenever you get into this business, you're going to think that you're on fire and you're killing it. And then in like 2 weeks, you're going to see someone that joined at the same exact time that you did, and they might be killing it, and they might sign more customers and distributors than you did. And I'm just going to be honest. There have been people that joined at the exact same time that I did, and now they're millionaires, and I'm still over here. I mean, obviously I'm doing very well with it, but there's people who are growing faster than I am, and then there's people who aren't growing as fast as I am. So number one, don't compare yourself. And when you get yourself caught up in comparing yourself to the people around you, or the people to the sideline, or anybody on your Facebook page, just know that this is your journey and it's up to you to kind of, get through it. And for me personally, if I ever feel like I'm having a down day, or I just feel like I don't know exactly, how to get through that, you can talk to your upline about it. You can talk to your enroller about it, and your friends. So you're going to make friends on this team. I know that there's going to be someone that I enrolled that becomes best friends with someone on Jess and Gabby's team. So that's going to happen. And make sure that you guys add each other on Facebook, so that you guys all become friends, so you can be there for each other when you do feel that way. But another thing that you can do is, so for me, I don't know why, but I can't read books. It's just, I can't stay focused. So I know it sounds so bad, but videos are, for me, that's where it's at. So you can go to YouTube, and you can type in motivational videos. You can, I'm just going to list a few people that I like to listen to. Gary Vee, Gary Vaynerchuk, he is amazing, and he's like the guy who cusses all over social media, but he really gets you like tuned in to like life, and he's like, oh, okay, you should probably get your shit together. And then there is also Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins. And then for me, this is just something like personal that I like to do is I like to listen to like pastors. So Stephen Furtick is a very, very amazing person to listen to. I also like listening to David Crank and Nicole Crank. And I'm not saying that you have to do that. If you aren't religious, you don't have to, but that's something that keeps me on my toes and reminds me that, you know, maybe I'm not where I want to be right now, but I'm going to get there. And there are so many books out there. I know like You Are a Badass, and then You Are a Badass at Making Money. What was that one Julie was just telling us about? Your Inner Circle, or what was it? Yeah, Your Inner Circle. You can just even Google self-development books and audibles on YouTube and all of that stuff. And I know that there's podcasts out there. So there's always going to be something every day, whether it's just a short 5 minutes video. Yeah, girl, wash your face. A short 5-minute video. Or if you're someone who wants to listen to an hour-long video, just do that. Do it every single day, or just do it on the days that you feel like you need to, because it's so important. And I'm happy that you guys know that now, that there's 50 people on here now that know that that's important. Every day I have on my list, watch an inspiring video. So that could be Cami Pentecost. I know you guys have all followed her. She has really good live videos, even just from Mark, our CEO, down to just like Goalcast on Facebook. Goalcast is just like a page, and they just share like 7-minute videos that are amazing. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to say, but I hope that you guys kind of got something out of that, and just kind of like fair warning about all of that stuff that you know, you're going to have ups and downs, but that's why, you know, it's important to have self-development, have communication with people, your upline and your downline, Haley. And if you guys ever need anything, I know not all of you guys I have personally enrolled, but if you ever need anything, I hope that we're friends on Facebook so that, you know, we can always communicate with each other. And if you have questions or ever need anything, help responding to somebody, and your enroller is busy and they haven't gotten back to you, let's say like 2 hours, don't message me in like 2 minutes. But like if they haven't responded in a while, reach out to me and know that I'm there to help you guys. And I'm just so excited that you guys are on here. And I think Jess is just going to go over a few more things after that. I'm still going to be listening, but thank you guys so much. And I'm super excited to welcome you to our team. So thank you guys for getting on. I love you guys so much already.
Okay, hey guys, I'm Jessie again. I know it says that I'm Jordan, but I'm actually Jessie. I am just going to go over like the very basic thing that you are going to be doing in this business, and that's posting. It is literally the number one thing, and there's a lot of things to know when it comes to posting, and so we're just kind of going to go over some of that today so I can kind of go in depth and let you know what to expect. So I'm going to break it down to Facebook, and then I'm going to talk about Instagram after that. So we're going to start with Facebook. My first thing I'm going to say is pick a set number of times you're going to post each day. So my range is 5 to 7. I will never post less than 5 times a day. Sometimes more than 7. It's rare. It's got to be like a really exciting day with a lot going on for me to post more than 7 times. But I know every single day I'm going to post at least 5 times. But I'm also going to mix it up. They're not all going to be It Works posts. I'm going to post about my life. I'm going to post about what I'm doing. I'm going to post this cute outfit that I found on Pinterest. That is the biggest thing, I think, when people start this business, is they're afraid of being spammy. The number one way to avoid that is to make sure that you are incorporating your life into it, because remember that people follow you for you. They want like to see your life. They want to see what you're up to. So the best and most, like the way you're going to relate to most people in your business is like just spilling or like incorporating the products into your life. So if I have a crazy day, like I'm going to snap a pic with my greens, and I'm going to be like, my greens are getting me through my mid-afternoon slump, or keto energy, or keto coffee. If you go to my page, you will probably see like 800 posts about keto coffee, because it's my favorite product. And you would know that from looking at my page, because I drink it every single day and I rave about it all the time. So you don't have to post about products that you're not actually using. If you've never tried the cleanse, you don't have to be advertising the cleanse. You might want to put it out there because somebody else might need it that you haven't even thought of, but I think I'm more comfortable sharing products that I use all the time. So you're always going to see me posting about the keto coffee, the greens, the cleanse, these products that I use every single day, because I feel comfortable talking about them because I'm educated about them. That's a good thing too. If you guys are doing product posts, kind of read up on the products a little bit. If you go to Document Library and eSuite, there are info sheets on every single product, just so you're kind of educated when people ask you questions, like, you know, you have some of the answers. Okay, so what should you be posting? Product post. That's just going to be anything about products. Opportunity post. That lets people know and helps you get like people to work with you. These are usually what people struggle with in the beginning because they're like, I don't have my own success story yet. Well, you can share other people's and you can talk about what It Works is going to do for you in the future. So yeah, maybe you haven't made thousands of dollars yet, but if you stick with it and you're consistent, you're going to, and you can talk about that. You can claim that. I feel like in the beginning, I shared Ashley's story all the time. So if you don't know your enroller's story, get in contact with them, make them tell you every detail about them because you can share their life or even top leaders. It's a really cool thing to just like Google leaders in It Works and just follow them and just pay attention to their posts and see what they're saying. And you can kind of take their story and just like change it up a little bit and let the people know that this is what this company has done for other people. Okay, this is a big one. If you have a busy life, so if you work a 9-to-5 job or you have college classes or you are super busy, plan your posts the night before. Type them out in your notes so that when you're running around throughout the day and it's busy or you're in the bathroom for 2 minutes, you can copy and paste that post into Facebook or whatever and post it. I know a lot of girls on my team do this and it works really well for them just because sometimes when you are busy, you don't have that time to stop and think and make a post. And I know some girls in my team, even when they're not busy, they feel like they make more organized posts when they sit down and they type them all out at once rather than just trying to think about it on the spot the next day. Okay, so this is a big one. I hear a lot of people in the beginning saying, no one's commenting on my post. Well, make sure that you are commenting on other people's posts and liking their posts because that's going to up your interaction and that's going to help more people see it. I always say, add some people on your team, find some sideline sisters, upline, downline, whatever it is, and add them, and you guys can comment on each other's posts back and forth to just kind of boost them up and see more interaction in our feed. I think like every 2 days, I'll like go to everybody's page and just comment on like 10 of their posts, so it just like puts them up in the feed. So it's really good to make friends within the company for that. I'm going to go ahead and switch and talk about Instagram for a little bit because I feel like I have a little bit more to say about Instagram. So Instagram-wise, I aim to post in my actual feed once a day. I know sometimes in the beginning, people aren't used to posting on Instagram that much. That's okay. But like I said, I aim for posting in my feed once a day. And then story, I'm posting on my story all day long. And it can be, like I said, don't make it just It Works, but mix it up. So let's say like I'm going shopping. I'm going to post the mall or my favorite store or whatever food you get when you go out to eat. Like just mix it up and post different things. Okay, so just a few tips about Instagram. I feel like I get more people to follow me back when I'm on private. So personally, I like to keep my Instagram on private. Obviously, that's up to you and your discretion, but I just feel like more people follow me back when it's that mystery of like who I am. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about Instagram stories and sharing the products on your Instagram story. So this is actually a tip that came from Lauren, which is our ambassador upline. She's freaking awesome. But she gave us this tip to pick one product and post about it for 5 days in a row. Science says that people have to see things like 7 times before they actually bite the bullet and buy it. So doing this 5 days in a row and just like having the same product consistently pop up is going to have people like thinking about it more. As to say, if I were to be like, purchase the cleanse for 40% off and then purchase coffee 40% off, like all in the same day, it just is kind of confusing and people don't know how to follow it. A big thing with this, and I actually am going to share my screen so you guys can see it, is making a countdown or being like cleanse challenge and having like 5, 6, 10, whatever number you want spots open. And then as people sign up, counting down, it kind of creates a sense of urgency and gets people to sign up faster. Another good thing to do with that is like, even if you haven't signed somebody, just throw a random name on it. So be like, Jessica got her cleanse and put like spot 1 with Jessica under it. It's okay to do that. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys real quick what I'm talking about.
Hey, okay. Jess, can you also share your screen on Caitlin's question?
Yes, I haven't seen it, but I'll look at it in just a second.
Fine. Thank you.
Okay, so I have an It Works Pinterest, and I have over 1,000 pins on it. I'm kind of crazy, but I keep it on private because I do put like some of our teams like really good posts for inspiration for other people on our team to use. So I keep that on private just so like the whole world can't see it. And like my personal pictures I've taken and stuff are on here, so I just like to keep that private. But I'm going to go to Instagram stories real quick. This is just a collection of Instagram stories I've made or people on our team have made. Let me find real quick what I'm talking about so you guys can see it. Okay, so like this one right here says long hair challenge and I have 5 spots. I would just continue posting that on my story and counting down throughout. So like throughout the 5 days, or even if you do it for 3 days, just pick a number of days and like say when you start the challenge how many days you're going to have it open for, and make sure you stick to what you say. So if you say you're going to do this challenge for 5 days, make sure that after 5 days you're saying challenge closed. And then there's like a keto coffee one there. I make these with WordSwag. I'm going to talk about apps that I use for like editing and stuff in a little bit. And okay, so I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Or let me see what the question was. Oh God, hold on. All right, hold on. I'm going to come back to questions in just a minute, and then, or I'm going to lose my train of thought, and I'm going to be all over the place. Okay, so another good one in Instagram stories is using polls. I know in the beginning, people are usually really nervous to message. Polls are where it's at, because you know if they're voting in your poll, they're at least interested. And I always felt more comfortable messaging people that voted on my polls. The big thing with polls is you never want to leave a no option, because you're just going to get mad if people vote against it. So, for example, if I said, who wants to grow out their hair? Mine would be like, one option would be me, and the other would be like, SOS, mine won't grow, or something like that. You just never want to be like, no, not I, because you will get mad when people just vote against it, and it's pointless anyways, because it's not helping you see who's interested. So that's a lot about Facebook and Instagram. Let me read the questions real quick and see if, and Haley, you can unmute yourself if you want, and if you want to answer any of these too. Hootsuite is good. Yes, there used to be Buffer, and they got rid of Buffer, and I'm really sad because I loved that one.
Caitlin was just asking, how do you send your post to a group chat? So like for Team Love, for example, like how do you send it over?
Okay, I've never done it on a computer, but I'm going to try it. I know how to do it on my phone, so it should be the same.
Yeah, it's the same. I can walk you through it if you need me to.
All right. Hold on a second. So we're going to go to Facebook real quick. I'm going to go to me. I'm going to share my live video in a group chat real quick. Sorry about whoever's in that group chat. If my computer wants to load, of course it's going to be slow because everybody's watching.
So Cameron, to answer your question, so basically you just want to make sure you're like being consistent with posting on your actual profile. I would say once a day. That's as much as I usually post. Everyone's pretty much different when it comes to how many times, but that's going to be like your profile to showcase who you are. But your stories, definitely use that to promote your business. So you're going to post about your products, your business opportunity, basically everything like that, and your life, of course. But on your actual profile, that's where you would want to post, just probably like once a day.
Yes, and like Haley just said, consistency is everything. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this real quick. So this is my live video. This is what I want to share to a group. I'm just going to hit share down here. Oh, come on. Okay. And then, oh, it's different on.
Go to that share on your timeline, click that drop down.
Okay. So then you're just going to go to share in a group. Oh, no. I want to share in a private message. There we go. And then, let's see if it comes up. This is the group chat. I'm just going to send it to Haley. That's what we're going to do. Sorry, guys. And then you'll just click who you want to send it to and send it like that. It's a little different on your phone, but it's pretty much the same thing. You're just going to hit share, and it's going to give you a send in messenger option. And that's how you'll do that. And I'm going to stop sharing my live video because it's making me self-conscious. Oh, I never know how to do it when I'm at this part. Okay, hold on. Ah!
And then there was another question also. How do you set up, I'm assuming you're talking about like the pictures on Pinterest, and then how do you make the story so pretty? I guess, are you just asking like how do we post it, or?
I'm going to talk about some apps that I use, and that's going to play a lot into how I make my stories the way that I do. So I'm going to move on to that real quick. Apps that are going to be helpful for you. Pinterest, obviously. I have a board for ItWorks, and then I have a board for like non-ItWorks related posts, and I will just put like cute outfits that I find on Pinterest, or like cute scenery, or like somewhere I want to go or something like that, and I'll save it and post, or like even like those word sayings that are like pretty and cute. I will save those to post. And then like when I'm stuck and I'm like, I don't know what to post, I will go to that Pinterest board and I'll just pull things off of that. And I do that like once a day. Like I just scroll through Pinterest at night and save things so that I have them. And the It Works one, a lot of the things is I've uploaded photos that I've taken myself or that our team has taken. And then a lot of times I'll just screenshot our post or like a top leaders post. I want you to know that you can always use us for inspiration with our posts. Just make sure you're switching it up a little bit to make it your own. So like sometimes if Jordan makes a really bomb post, I'll screenshot it. And then like a week later when I don't know what to post, I'll be like, oh, Jordan made that really good post. So I'll go to it and then I'll just switch it up and make it my own. So that's totally okay to do. You can save our post. Just make sure that you are taking that time to make it your own a little bit. So I use PicTap Go for editing apps. It does cost money. I have heard that people like the Visco, however you say it, that one too. When you're editing your photos, you just want to make sure that they're bright and they're pretty and they're attractive. Think of like what you would want to see scrolling down your timeline. So if you were scrolling down your timeline, you wouldn't want to see like a graphic like spammy images that is like join It Works. Like you would just ignore that and you would think that it was spammy. So just keep in mind when you're posting like what is going to be appealing to people. So that means like well lit photos too. So like go outside and take some pictures with the products or stand in front of a window and take some pictures with the products. And Pixlr is a good app too. I use that for overlaying. Like sometimes you'll see people put their check on like a screen with another picture or like their enrollment and they'll just be like, I helped 3 ladies get started working their own business today or something like that. Those are really cool too. And I use Pixlr to do that. And then, so in the group chat earlier, we talked about like some of our social media tips that we wish we had known in the beginning. So I'm just going to go over those real quick and then I'll check if I missed any more questions. Okay, so my number one tip, don't put It Works in your bio. We know how awesome our company is and we're really passionate about it, but sometimes people have had bad experiences with another distributor, or sometimes people just like have a bad experience because they're negative and they don't know anything about it. You never know. So just don't put that in your bio because a lot of times it will make less people follow you back. Remember that your social media is basically your store. So like when you go to Target, they have their lights on their advertising. Remember that if you go a week and a half without posting, no one's even going to know you're doing this business anymore. That's why consistency is absolutely everything. A lot of times people will ask me like, how do you sign so many customers? Well, I've been doing this for over a year and I've been posting for over a year and I'm really consistent about it. That is a big thing. So like I said, pick your number for Facebook and Instagram and just make sure you stick to it every single day, whatever you have to do that. Also, you want to keep the sharing to a minimum. I know that sometimes there's really funny videos and stuff on Facebook, but remember that when you're sharing things, you're leading people to another page that isn't yours. Your social media should be yours. And even if you do want to share things sometimes, like sometimes there is a really funny video, or sometimes like someone in your family does something cool and you want to share it. Just so you know, you can hide posts from your timeline on Facebook. And I can share my screen and show you that in a minute too. But like say I post a before and after, which you should be posting before and afters because sometimes those really get people, but I don't want it to be on my timeline because I think that it does look a little bit spammy. Then you can hit this little thing on the side and hide that post from your timeline. So when people go to your page, they won't see that first thing. It'll still show up in people's news feeds. It just won't be like the first thing they see when they come to your page. Another really big one is having a positive social media presence. So you could be really passionate about politics. You could be really passionate about like some social issues that are going on, but don't talk about it on Facebook because there is going to be that opposing group that's watching and they're not going to like you because of it. And that's going to close you off from customers that you could have. Oh, and this is another one that I just wanted to throw out. So I know that live is kind of intimidating, but it does really help you get interaction and it brings a lot more people to your page. And I've been doing the thing lately, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen them, where you do the short little clip, like talking clips, and you put them on your Instagram story. Those are really big. I don't know what it is, but people always swipe up on those and message me. I think it's because you can get them a good amount of information in a quick little like snippet, and they can like hear your excitement about it too. Lastly, with stories, you can share your Instagram story to your Facebook story. I would say make sure you do that because even though a lot less people watch my Facebook story opposed to my Instagram story, I feel like I am opening myself up to more people that way, and I have signed customers from them swiping up on my Facebook stories before. Okay, am I missing any important questions, Haley?
No, we've been pretty much answering them as we go. Just talking about like, do you want your site in your bio? Yeah, we just said Linktree. Like Linktree would be your best option for that.
All right. Awesome, everybody. Who's next? You or Jordan? Okay, cool. Thanks for listening to me.
Okay, so hi. All right, just kidding. I'm gonna get started. Okay, so basically, like we're pretty much going over all of our non-negotiables, and one of the a really big important one is definitely going to be building interaction, building your network, your relationships with all of your friends, all of your followers. So this is going to be really huge. So obviously, you know, you joined for a reason, whether you need the money, whether you need friendships, whether you need freedom or you're sick of your job, whatever. But there was also a reason why you joined with the person you did. And it's because something on their profile just really grabbed you, or maybe they were building a relationship with you before this. Maybe there's some kind of similarity that you found in them that really just connected you two together. So that's going to be like a really important thing, is making sure that you are being genuine about this business, about kind of what you want in life, like your goals. Really share that with the world, because they will definitely relate to whatever you have basically to offer. So like for me, I am drawn to someone who I have something in common with. Like for example, I work out. So that's an instant attraction to me, is just someone who goes to the gym, someone who is fit, someone who looks good, someone who cares about themselves. So really, like it's kind of like getting to know yourself times two, you know, finding that next person who's really going to, who could be your friend, who could be your next teammate, who you are going to help try to change lives. So basically on Facebook, with how you add to your network. So I'm sure you guys are pretty much will already know this, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So Facebook's, you are going to find people through groups. If you're not already in a group, that is totally okay. You don't have to be. But I know Gabby, for example, she is in an Air Force wife group, and she actually has helped a few girls in that group get started with their business because they have that in common. So that is a really good place to meet people. You can go through your suggested friends as well on Facebook. Just make sure that you be careful about that, because typically the people who show up in that section are people who you have mutual friends in common with. So that could be somebody on your team. It works distributors. So just kind of keep an eye on that as far as who you have mutually friends with. You can just go through your friends list. You can go through your recent ads on your Facebook friends. You can go through events. So that's a really big thing too. If you just feel like you are stuck on how to reach outside of your state, your city, your town, whatever, you can just type in a city in Florida, for example, and you'll see like different events that pop up, and just go to everyone who is interested in going, and just kind of keep it to a minimum, only because typically there's not like a lot of mutual friends that you'll have with those people. So Facebook will they'll pretty much like not block you, but just see that you're doing something like weird, and they'll just kind of flag you in a way. So just, I would say like 5 to 10 people I'll typically add through events, just to keep it to a minimum. And then Instagram. So obviously you can go through your followers, you can go through your following. You can start following people through likes. So you can go to your friends' likes and follow all those people who are not already with the company. You can follow through, if you go to the search bar at the bottom, there will be a tab at the top that says people, places, tags, things like that. So you can follow people through tags. So for example, if you are a dog mom, like Ashley, she would type in dog mom, and then anyone who posts a picture of them and their dog, then she could go follow those people. And then places. So for example, if you're trying to expand your network into another state, just type in a city. So for example, the 4 of us, we were in Florida last weekend for Green Carpet, which is an event that It Works does hold. And it was in Bradenton, Florida. So I would just type in Bradenton, and anyone who has tagged that location, I would just follow people who have tagged that location. And then that's pretty much like how to add people, I guess you could say. So kind of what you want to look for, definitely follow people or add people who have appealing photos. So it's going to be really important that, you know, whoever does take like a profile picture, it's going to be bright, appealing. It's not like a picture of a cat. Like, you definitely want to stay away from those people who don't have legit profile pictures. So please don't add those people just to add someone. Make your ads like very genuine, someone who you have similar interests with, someone who you think is pretty or that you could be friends with. Obviously, try your best to stay away from mutual friends that are with the company. So I know a lot of you guys are new and everyone's still pretty much getting to know each other. So obviously just do your best, but if you make a mistake and add someone who there's like 5 other people friends with that friends, it's okay. Like, don't, beat yourself up about it. But, and then kind of like make yourself a goal every day. So we like to, it's called a 6 list, or you can just make it a to-do list, whatever you want to do. But like, just write something, a few things down every single day that you want to do to expand your business. So obviously you're always going to post. So you would write posting down. You're going to write down adding to your network. So that's adding on Facebook, following on Instagram. On Facebook, typically a good goal is to add 30 people a day. That will really help you out with expanding that friends list. Obviously, probably not all 30 are going to accept, so the higher you go, the more likelihood of that ratio is going to be better. And then on Instagram, I would just say follow like 50 to 100. You can typically reach a lot more people on Instagram, so definitely start like at that minimal rate. An app to use is definitely going to be Captivate, and that is going to help follow a ton more people without being blocked on Instagram. And to unfollow, so for example, if you have just like a crap ton of guys on your profile that you just don't want, like your friends list or whatever, or just like spam accounts or inactive accounts, whatever, you can use unfollowers, and I think that's free. That is a good tool to use to just quickly unfollow a whole bunch of people who don't follow you back. And then, okay, so basically like a good way to, I guess, explain why it is very important to build relationships on Facebook, on Instagram. For example, so let's say you only have 50 friends on your Facebook, okay? So all 50 of those friends either buy products from you or they have joined your business. Well, who else are you going to promote your business to if all 50 people are already in your network somehow? So obviously it's not going to work. You're not going to grow. You're not going to be successful. So you have to make sure you are constantly adding new people to your network, to your team, whatever the case is. So that way you're constantly posting to somebody new. I don't know, that's kind of like the best way to say it. So sharing the opportunity, what we have to offer. I mean, this business is literally gold, something that everyone should get their hands on, but a lot of people don't because of fear, because of being broke, or whatever the case is. But as long as you are sharing this opportunity to someone new sorry, thought I just got kicked out. Okay. Sharing this opportunity to someone new every single day, you are going to start getting an interest one way or another. You're going to start building friendships. You're going to start getting to know other people who really need help, who really need what you have to offer. And someone who literally just needs a life change. Like, you don't know the next person that you're going to talk to. They are probably like contemplating the worst case scenario for their life, and you wouldn't know it if you never reached out to that person. Or maybe if you weren't so positive all the time, they like wouldn't have, I don't know, just took their life into a deep point. Like, you just don't know who your next person is that you're going to help change lives. I've had plenty of people who have told me that my posts have been so positive, so inspiring for them, have literally like helped pick them up to see a different view of life. So, I mean, I'm telling you, like, the more you post, the more people you talk to every single day, you're going to really help someone one way or another. Even if they don't buy anything from you, at least you got a new friend, like whatever the case is. So it's very important to just be yourself and to make sure that people know about what you have on your hands. And then I guess like another good way to think of it is people are going to buy you before they buy from you. So I would probably write that down. That's probably going to be the biggest relationship building tip I could probably give to you. People buy you before they buy from you. So with that being said, in order for them to trust you, for them to buy you, whatever the case is, you have to interact. You have to compliment on their photos. That can just simply be saying, oh my gosh, girl, that outfit is so cute. Or, oh, you look like you were having so much fun on that trip, whatever the case is. Or compliment their family photos, or an engagement, or a new baby. Like, just get into their notifications one way or another to build that relationship. Another way is sending happy birthday messages. If you guys know how to access the happy birthday tab on your Facebook profile, you can see everyone's birthdays that are happening that day, the next day, the previous day, whatever. I always post on everyone's wall whose birthday is today. And then, tomorrow, I will send them a private message and say, hey girl, I saw your birthday is tomorrow. I hope you have a good one. Just wanted to quickly reach out to you. Like, something so simple, just so they know that someone's thinking about them, someone saw it, someone's like actually taking initiative to reach out to them rather than it just being the day of. You would be surprised how many people really appreciate it. And then ask questions on their post to get another conversation started, or maybe agree with something that they have posted about, because it helps show a similarity between the two. And the more you do that, the more that they are going to see your post too. And that's going to be really important for them to see what you have to offer, because you never know what they would need at that time. And then, okay. So let's say you go into a conversation with someone with just the intention to sell your product. Well, obviously someone is going to be really pushed away because they think that you just want their money, right? Well, that's not okay. Like, that's not why we're here. We're not here to be an ad. We're not here to spam people or to make it seem like all we care about is taking everyone's money. So we are here to genuinely help people. So really just stay close to who you are, and that you have something to help that person with. So obviously, like, for example, if someone comments on your post about the coffee, obviously, yes, message them and say, hey, I saw you. You commented on my post about the coffee. Were you curious? And just kind of like get to know that person. Don't automatically just go into, okay, this is what it is. This is how much it is. Are you going to buy from me? Well, no, I'm not going to buy from you because I don't even know who you are. Like, clearly all you want is my money. So just kind of have fun with it. What I usually do is talk about like how I use the coffee, or, oh my gosh, girl, like, this is so good. I don't even go to Starbucks anymore. What flavor of coffee do you usually drink? Just make it like really fun, so that way they want to constantly respond back to you, and just play around with the messages. There's no scripts that we use. Obviously there's like a good way to control the conversation, but just make sure that you're just being you, because they can tell if you have an intention to sell it, and they can tell if you're just trying to get their money basically and you're not being genuine. They'll be able to sense that and run. So you don't want to do that. And then I already said that. Basically, the more people you interact with, the more that they're going to see your post. And then the same thing, like when you follow up. So I know Jordan is going to touch base on messaging a lot more than this, but I do just want to like quickly say this one thing. So whenever you follow up with someone, so for example, back to the coffee thing, let's say they didn't respond back to you, but they got your message. So typically a really good way to follow up, I always follow up every 2 days, every 2 weeks, and then like every month or so with that same person. So I will write down, for example, I talked to that coffee girl today. I will write her name down 2 days later, just in case she doesn't respond back. I can follow up with her in 2 days. So let's say Saturday comes around. I'm going to follow up with her and say, hey girl, I saw you got my message. How are you? That's it. So I'm not even going to bring up the coffee. I'm not going to bring up anything, because to her, she's going to think all I want to do is get her order placed. Obviously, of course I do. I want to help her because she wants the coffee, but I'm going to make sure I'm building that relationship so she continues to trust me and she continues to respond back to me. If she doesn't, no problem. That's cool. I'll respond back to her in a month, or 2 weeks. I'm sorry, 2 weeks. 2 weeks comes around. Then I'll bring up the coffee. So that way she knows I'm still wanting to help her. It's still available to order, whatever the case is. But it also shows that you are being consistent with what you have to offer, because if you never talk to that person again, they are not going to take you seriously, and they're really going to have a bad impression on you that you just don't care about them. So that's kind of like the best follow-up system I have too with that, but I hope that makes sense with how I explained it. And then I think that's pretty much it, I want to say. So like I said, building relationships is huge with this business. You joined for a reason. You joined the person that you enrolled with for a reason. And just continue being you. Don't change just because you're in this. And I promise you're going to get a lot more interaction. Team love is huge in this company. So make sure you're giving love to all of your teammates, adding those people on your team so that way you can constantly give love to each other, and that will pop up on your potentials feed as well. And then that's pretty much all I got. Just have fun, be you, and start getting to know some people. But otherwise, that's it. So I'm going to pass this over to Jordan. This is going to be our last tip of the night, and here she is.
Can you guys hear me okay? I'm on my phone, and I never get on Zoom, so let me know if you guys can't hear me. But hi, I'm Jordan again. So I'm going to talk really quickly about messaging, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram, and host-to-post as well. I know host-to-posts are like kind of new for some people, especially if you're new to the team and everything. But so like we talked about earlier, posting is definitely important for your business, and it is vital for people to know that like you're open. But posting isn't asking. I know that messaging people is really scary, and like it's scary to put yourself out there and everything, but it's important. Whenever you do go about messaging somebody, you want to make sure that you keep it like super, super, super simple. You don't want to start off your conversation with just being like spammy and messaging them like a paragraph about what you do. And like, I know I received a message today from somebody, and they're like, hey, I don't know if you know me or not, but I work for It Works now, and I want you to be my product model. It's just a 90-day trial of blah, 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 blah. But, like, you don't want to say that. It's just super spammy, just, like, the way that they go about it. Be super simple. Whenever you message somebody, like Haley was saying, off, like, your post or something, just say something super simple, like, hi, I saw you commented on my post about the coffee. Do you want more information? And just leave it at that and kind of like let the conversation go. If you are new, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to send screenshots to your enroller. I promise you it is not annoying. We want you to send screenshots because we want you to know what exactly to message them. And it's really important just because like obviously we know how to message people, and sometimes it can sound like kind of spammy just because you don't want to give everybody like every single bit of information. Like if somebody asks what the keto coffee is, you don't want to go into your document library and say keto coffee is a buttery creamy coffee that is a part of the keto diet. Like you would definitely want to reach out to your enroller to ask them how they would word that. So keep it super simple. Like Ashley talked about earlier, consistency, or I think everybody talked about it, consistency is very, very, very important. If you're posting consistently, obviously people are going to be liking your post, commenting, stuff like that. So what I usually do is I message people from my likes, people who comment, people who view my stories, stuff like that. So if somebody likes my post on Facebook and they're kind of like consistently liking my stuff, I'll message them and just say something super simple like, hi, I see you've been like liking my posts and stuff. Do you want more information on blank? If they're consistently liking your pictures that you're posting about the coffee, then obviously message them about the coffee. But if they're only messaging you, or if they're only liking the pictures that you post about the business, then you can message them that way and just simply reach out and say something like, hi, I saw you have been liking my pictures about what I do. Do you want more information about it? Something super simple like that. Again, talking to your enroller is crucial with that because they know what they're supposed to be saying. Posting likes, okay, views. So obviously what Jessie was saying about posting on your Instagram story is really important too. So if you're posting on your story, people are going to be watching your story. If you're consistently posting and people are watching, like if you click through your whole story and somebody's watched the whole thing, then obviously they're interested in it. So I will simply shoot them a message and say something like, hey, I saw you viewed my story about the coffee. Do you want more information? Something super, super simple again, because you don't want that long message because they're probably not going to read it. I think Jessie, I was in the car so I couldn't really hear, but I think Jessie mentioned something about the one product a day for 5 day thing. So if you're still, like, if you're on day 3 of the keto coffee and people are still watching your story, then obviously they're at least, like, a little bit interested. So I still reach out to them that way as well. I talk fast. Product model messages on Instagram. I know that's kind of scary for some people, and it was definitely really weird for me whenever I first started, because I'm not the kind of person to reach out to somebody. I'm super shy and awkward at first, so it was definitely something that I had to, like, get off the fence about, but it's really helped me and my business a lot. So whenever I say product model, it's kind of like a better usage than loyal customer, because you don't want to message somebody and say, like, hey, you're really pretty, do you want to be my customer? Again, that's, like, spammy and kind of against what Haley said as well. Like, you want to reach out to them for them and, like, what their needs are too. So I usually message people, and I kind of don't use this because I know a lot of people on my team use it, but I will just say something like I'll go and like about 3 of their pictures and say, all right, I totally stalked your page and it's super cute. I love your style. I really want you to model a few products for me, or something super simple like that. And then whenever they respond, they usually say something like, what's your product? Or like, what is it? What do I have to do? Something like that. And then I have like a picture with a list of the products that are like probably my most like popular products that I sell. And it just gives them like an option to choose from and have them choose like what's best for their lifestyle. So it just depends on like I have a list of hair, skin, and nails, keto coffee, like the facial cleansers and everything like that. So it just gives them an option to choose instead of you reaching out to them and being like, hey, be my customer. It's just kind of like a nicer way to go about it. And for like product models, I do offer them, if they post in their story about it and I get a customer from it, then I'll send them a free product. You don't have to do it, but it's just kind of like a good way to get referrals from other people, if that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box too. I know I talk really fast. What else? Okay, Haley talked about interacting, but she talked about like commenting on people's things. I like to interact. I do that, but I also like interacting through people's stories on Instagram. So if they post a picture of like their dog or something, I'll swipe up on their story and say, oh my gosh, your dog is so cute. What kind of dog is he? It just kind of like sparks a conversation where you're building that relationship with somebody, just so they trust you more, because again, people buy you before they buy your products. Or if they have like a cute outfit on, I'll say something like, oh my gosh, where did you get your dress? Or if they post a selfie, I'll say something like, oh my gosh, your brows are what's the word? Are popping, or something like that. I don't know, just something to like interact with them and compliment them. I know it's kind of uncomfortable at first, well, it was for me, but you have to get out of your comfort zone for that. So that's my messaging on Instagram. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat box. So for Facebook, the way I message on there, I don't use Facebook as much as I use Instagram, but host to post have really been working for me, and I know a lot of people on my team as well. So host to post. A host to post is simply just where one of your Facebook friends posts a post that you made on their wall just to like reach more people. Just to reach more people. So what I message people, I will send one of my friends a message that says something super simple, just like, hey, can I ask you a super quick question? And then whenever they respond, I say something like, so I'm super close to hitting a big goal of mine for this month. I'm just needing to reach more people. Would it be okay if I sent you a post to throw up on your wall? And in return, I will send you a free product, or something like that. You don't have to send them a free product, but I do, just because it's like more of an incentive for them to post it for me. And I have a bunch of berry greens in my house, so that helps. You don't have to do like a free product or anything. If it's like a family member and they just want to throw it on their wall for you, then that's okay too. But host to post work because you're just like expanding your network that way, and you're just getting so many more people interested. And then every time somebody comments, make sure you comment back and say messaging you or something like that, just because it bumps up like the algorithm with that and more people see it. I have a script for host to post actually, and I know there's a bunch in FitWorks too. So if you're on this, feel free to reach out to me and message me about the script that I have. And there's a coffee one in FitWorks too, I know for sure. I try to send out about 15 host to post a day. Just like messaging people and saying, hey, can I ask you a super quick question? That's what I send, 15. Usually I get about like 8 responses because not a lot of my friends are like active on Facebook. So if they don't respond, I'll usually message them something and say like, did I catch you at a bad time? And then if they don't respond, then they're probably obviously not active on Facebook, and I'll just unfriend them. But usually I message host to post for loyal customers, just simply asking them to throw a post on their wall for that. But Haley actually made a host to post for distributors. That has worked for me in the past as well, and I know it's been popping. So distributor host to post have worked too. And then just messaging them from that way. And make sure you comment on your posts that you make as well. So I know this kind of goes off topic of messaging, but anytime you post, say you post a picture of yourself in like an opportunity post or something, if somebody comments on it and says, like, you're so pretty or something like that, make sure you like it and comment back too, because that boosts your algorithm as well. Hold on, I'm going to go through the chat box really quick and see if anybody has any questions. Don't answer questions in the comments. Okay, yeah. So you are going to have those people at first that comment on your post and say, like, what is the keto coffee? Or what do you do? Or, like, what company do you work for or something? Do not answer it in the comments just because, like, you want to build that curiosity. So if somebody is curious about what you do, they don't want to, like, look at your post and be like, oh, she does it works. I don't need to message her. I already know what it is. So whenever somebody does respond that, just make sure you say messaging you or I just sent you a message. Just something like super simple like that. I think that's it about what I have for messaging.
Can I touch on that really quick?
Yeah.
So same thing with like the building relationship part. So this is really going to sound very repetitive, but so like, just like Jordan said, don't give any information in the comments unless it's like a before and after picture of a product that you're posting about. So the reason why is because, you know, just like she said, if someone already knows what you do or already has all the information, they're not going to come and talk to you. So that's what we're here for, is to be that advocate to help people. Because, for example, like, let's say that it was the coffee post and they want more info on the coffee, and then you finally start talking to them and yeah, they want the coffee, but maybe their goal is to lose 30 pounds, right? Well, if their goal is to lose 30 pounds, you're not going to want to just offer them the coffee. You're going to want to help them and suggest better products to help meet their need. So that's a really big thing as far as getting them into their inbox and building that relationship, so you can really get to know what they're really looking for and not just, you know, the product that you posted about, because they probably don't know that we have over 40 plus products to market basically. So that's kind of where you come into play. And I know that everyone's still new, but definitely just write that down and know. And that's what we're here for, to help you with that conversation. So that way we can do our best, because we do know what we're doing. We do know how to talk to people about offering products that would be best for them. So this will really help you guys do that too, with building that relationship. And they're going to want to, you know, trust you and probably refer you to someone else too, because you actually took the time to care about what they wanted, ask them questions, and just really show genuine interest, you know, in what they needed. So there you go, Jordan.
Okay, I just had one more thing to add, because I just got like 5 text messages on what an algorithm is. But so your algorithm, you have algorithms on both Facebook and Instagram and like all social media in general. But pretty much like Facebook and Instagram actually does not show your posts to every single one of your friends or followers. So the more likes and comments that you have on your post, that's going to like boost your algorithm on Facebook, if that makes sense. So say like you get no likes or comments on anything, then it's not really going to show. It's only going to show it to, I think Facebook is 10% of your friends. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if people are like commenting on your post and everything, then it boosts up your algorithm. Haley, can you explain that a little bit more? I'm really bad at explaining what an algorithm is.
I mean, you pretty much explained it. Basically, if you're not interacting with your friends, and if you're not posting or using the tools that Facebook, that Instagram has to give you, like, for example, like stories and GIFs and like the colored backgrounds on their post, they give you that stuff so they can basically like I guess, like, I don't know. I just like doing
it's really hard to explain, but pretty much the more that you use the things that like those apps give you. So Facebook has sorry, I'm sick. Facebook has Facebook Live. It has like those colorful backgrounds that Haley was talking about. It has the option to not only like somebody's post, but to love it or like laugh at it or something. And those are like the little things that boost your algorithm within your social media. Just like Instagram came out with like that IGTV thing. I haven't done that yet, but that boosts your algorithm. And then just like continuously interacting with people and posting on your story as well will increase your algorithm too.
And then yeah, also like doing interaction posts too. So for example, I know a lot of people have, I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing the 14-day training posting that we're doing for you guys. So one of them is like drop an emoji for info. Well, that's a really big thing because your friends are just going to drop an emoji and that one text is going to pop up in everyone else's feed as well. So that's like another way to like really boost that interaction is by just asking people a question or dropping an emoji or, you know, like the funny things that people post, like post your 5th photo in your albums or in your photos or whatever, like let's play a game or comment below where you're from, like little things like that that are really going to engage your friends. That will boost your post into your friend's post. I know like this can be really confusing sometimes, but it's okay. Like you'll get it, I promise. But that's just, I guess, another way to explain algorithms.
Yes, and like she said, it is really confusing at first, but just make sure that you're in constant contact with your enroller because it is confusing and it is kind of like a little overwhelming at first, but your enroller is there for your help and just to help you like not feel overwhelmed with it and just to like answer all of your questions in general. But that's all I have for tonight. If Gabby, Ashley, Haley, Jesse, if you guys want to add anything.
Gabby, do you want to?
No, I think you guys covered everything. I was like trying to think of like something I could say, but I think you guys got it all, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say otherwise I'm pretty sure that's it. So I was even writing notes down myself and I've been in for 2 years, so you know it's okay. Like we're not gonna know everything. We don't expect you to. You're constantly gonna be learning something new every single day that you're in this business. And I'm telling you, like, please blow us up and please communicate with your enroller, whether that's me or them for. But just on anything, if you're having like trouble trying to figure out a post, or if you're having a struggle with getting people to show interest, or maybe you're just having a really down day and you just can't get yourself to feel motivated or whatever to work, but don't just not work. Like let us know so we can help you get out of that funk. It's okay to like have a bad day. Life happens. I'm not saying this business is going to be 100% your life, but you definitely want it to be incorporated into your life, not the other way around. So obviously you had a life before this and you're going to continue to build your life with this. So we just wanted to basically share all the tips that we know works for us. And if you guys just listen to it and do all the things that we tell you, you will be successful. I freaking promise you. Just be consistent, be positive, just be excited because we are all so excited you guys are here. And that's pretty much all I got. So I will get this recording up. If you have any teammates who you personally have enrolled that were not on, I will get that sent over. But that's all we got. So thank you guys so much. I can't wait to see all you guys just succeed and go to the top. Whoop, whoop. So that's all I got. And thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, you guys.